Welcome. Okay, so the first unit for 7th grade math is negative numbers, addition and subtraction. This unit is mainly just adding and subtracting integers with word problems using number lines, fractions. And you can see it's pretty long here. Very long unit. So I will be assigning quiz 1, 2, 3 and the unit test. So you should go through this entire unit and just practice and get a good understanding of adding and subtracting integers. So integers is dealing with negative numbers. You're going to see these a lot. So it's good to learn them early. I have lots of high school students who struggle with their algebra, and it's really just because they make mistakes with integers. So when you get to that level of math, you don't want to make a little mistake all because you did -1 + 3 wrong. That will get your entire math problem wrong. If you do that wrong, you don't want that to happen. So like I said, it's good to learn adding and subtracting integers early on. Subtracting is the hardest one. That one might need more practice, and that's common for everyone. So the more you practice these, the better you'll get. You want to build speed and muscle memory, just like when you learn to add 10 + 3, right? That you can do easy. You don't even have to use your fingers anymore or count. Hopefully it comes fast. So you want to get like that with integers too. So if I have 2 negatives being added together, that's going to give me a bigger negative. If I took $10 from you, took 3, I took 13 total. Let's say I have a bigger negative and a smaller positive. Well, this is pretty much the opposite of 10 - 3. 10 - 3 is 7, being that the bigger number is negative, answer is negative. Let's say I have 3 plus -10. That's -7, right? If you had $3, your bank took 10, you're in debt. You're in debt -7. 0 plus any number is that number. And those are all the scenarios for addition. For subtraction, we're used to seeing 10 - 3, right? That's easy, we can do that. But let's say I have -10 - 3. Well, that's just going to get you a bigger negative, which is -13. This is the same thing. You can even, I learned to do these problems that are minus minus. I learned to, when I was younger, to do it like this. If I have -10 - 3, just switch this to a plus minus, get you -13. If I have -3 - 5, same thing, switch this to a plus minus, you get -8. So you can use that technique to help you. Let's say I have 3 - 10. Well, this is the opposite of 10 - 3, which is -7. If the smaller number is in front and you're minusing a big number, it's in negative now. Now let's say I have 0 - 3. That's -3. But let's say I have 0 minus -3. So rules, and you might want to write this down if you're new to this. When you have 2 negative signs, it makes a positive. So 2 negatives make a T, basically. You can use your fingers, 2 negatives, right? If you had 2 negatives, you make a T with your finger using those 2 negatives. You can think of it like that. 2 negative signs next to each other make a positive. This becomes 0 plus 3, which is 3. If I had 3 minus -3, this becomes 3 plus 3, which is 6. If I have 5 minus -2, this becomes 5 plus 2, which is 7. If I have -6 minus -4, this becomes -6 plus 4, which is -2. If I have -9 minus -3, this becomes -9 plus 3, which is -6. And that is adding and subtracting. On that unit, there are 2 quizzes that I recommend you practice individually. The one that says adding negative numbers and subtracting. These are the ones you really want to master. You can do these quizzes as many times as you want. So you want to build speed. And the good thing with Khan Academy, right? You can see I'm building speed. I don't even have to think twice. That's how you should get with your integers. The good thing with Khan Academy, you get something wrong, they'll show you how to do it. They even use a number line. So you can also use the number line technique to help you. So if you do have any specific questions while you're doing this unit, just let me know. So you should already know how to do add fractions. So here I have two fractions added together. I need to make them have common denominators. I'm going to multiply the first fraction by 5. I get 15/10. I'm going to multiply the second fraction by 2. I get -12/10, and then I add them together. 15 plus -12 is 3. That's basically 15 minus 12. And then denominator stays the same. I would simplify it if I could. So you will see fractions and integers with those. Okay, it says evaluate the expression. F is this and G is this. So if I did F minus G, I'm going to use my calculator for this. -3.005 minus 4.7 gets me -7.705 plus -2. So if I added -2 to that, I would have -9.705. For these decimal ones, it's okay to use a calculator, but you can also do it by hand. Being that you're in 7th grade, you should know how to add and subtract decimals. Amar tried to evaluate the expression step by step. Did Amar make a mistake? Okay, so remember, you learn early on PEMDAS, parentheses first, exponents, then multiplication, division, adding, and subtracting. So here we have -2 plus 5. That gets me 3. 3 minus -3 becomes 3 plus 3, which is 6. So step 1, he messed up. I'm not sure why it went from -3. He should have changed that to a +3. So that's where he messed up. It also, that one step messing him up got him to the wrong answer. So that's why you have to be cautious with integers. Amy hikes down a slope to a lake that is below the trail. So that's a negative. Then Amy jumps into the lake and swims 1.5 meters down, which is also negative. She wonders what her new position. So Amy hikes down a slope to a lake, then jumps into the lake and swims this much down. She wonders what's her new position relative to the trail. So this trail is 10.2 meters above ground. So this one might be none of the above. Yeah, it should be set up as -10.2 minus 1.5 because she's going down and then also in the water down. So she's like way below where she even started up here. Negative, negative. The number line asks how Issa's bank balance decreased after writing several checks. Which balance is $86 more than the balance of negative? So if it's what balance is $86 more than this, you need to add $86 to that. So you can use a calculator for these longer ones, but when it comes to doing just the basic integers, you should be able to do those in your head or by hand, no calculator. So this would get me, if I added 86, 38.10. So when you're going through this unit, whenever you get something wrong, like I said, see what you did wrong. That way you can get better and improve. Which expression is positive? -a minus 1. Okay, if I minus 1, I'm going to be even more negative. But a is already negative, so that would actually become a positive a. It's about -1 point something. So that would actually give me a positive number. And then let's say that was about 2. This becomes -2, which is +2 minus 1, which is 1. B is already positive. So if I made it like it's over 2, this is going to be in the negatives. So this one will give me a positive answer. If I add those two together, I would not get 0. If I added those two together, I would not get 0. Let's say x was 5. -5 plus -5 is -10. 5 minus -5 is also 10. That would be -10. That would be 10. Neither of those are 0. This is teaching you how to use the number line, 6 plus -2. So you're going to start at the 6 and you're going to add -2, which means you're going down. You're not going up. You are decreasing the value, not increasing. Which of the following statements are true about the expression? If I had 7 plus -7, well, if I had 7, it would be over here. If I added -7, I then would go there and I would end up at the 0. The expression does equal 0. I would start at the 7 and then move to the left, not the right. It's decreasing, not increasing. What's the value? Well, this is -10. It looks like it's going by 2. So this is -8, -6, -4, -2, 0. Always move left to right with these. 17 plus -8 is 9 because 9 plus 8 is 17. But so basically 17 minus 8 is 9. 9 plus -8 is 1. If I had $9, you took away 8. I now have 1. Absolute value means whatever's in here becomes positive. If I have a -5, absolute value in math means this is then equal to 5 because you remove the bars and it becomes positive. So if I did minus, this would give me a bigger minus, but then that would be positive. Which of the following expressions represents the distance? I had one like this earlier and I did not like these type of problems. So I'm honestly not, try your best for a lot of these questions. I'm not too worried about these type of questions. Like I said, I really just want you to know how to do stuff like this. The fraction ones too. You know, but overall this unit's just a good unit to do when we're reviewing adding and subtracting integers. Okay, so if I had negative, which of the following represents the distance between this? Okay, so what is the distance between -2 and 1.5? Well, this to 0, which is here, sorry, is 1.5 units. And then -2 is, so this would be -2, 2 units away from 0, and that's 1.5 units from 0, so basically 3.5 units total. This would get me -3.5, but the absolute value of that becomes positive. -9 plus what gets you -3? 6. You can even use the number line to help you. 9, -9 minus, this is right, the equation. I think some of these number line ones can be kind of tricky. -9 minus 2 plus -2. Let's look at this one. -9 minus 2. Isn't that what I put? Wait, what's going on? I put -9 plus -2. I guess they wanted me to put it in parentheses. Sometimes Khan Academy can be picky. Oh, I had to put what it equals. That's why. -11. So sorry about that. Little mistake. If I added these together, I would get 0. This would get me -6. And this would get me, okay, y has to be a number. Y plus 10 would get me -41. So that would be -51 plus 10 gets me -41. And that's the entire unit. So I recommend doing the unit tests, doing the assignments I give you. Wherever you struggle at individually, you can go to those quizzes and practice there. Like, let's say, you know, I'm not good with doing things on the number line, missing numbers on the number line. I can practice there. So just go through the unit, do the quizzes that I assign, and then wherever you need additional work, I recommend practicing there individually. Let me know if you have any questions or need any additional videos on anything. Good luck.